Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Game on Cloud 9 here, and I am here at Youmacon 2014. Now, it probably doesn't look like it because I'm in the parking garage, but I've basically been waiting a long time to get here. I've got my pass now. It's kind of hard for you to be able to see, but doing a lot of things at once. But I'm gonna have a lot of footage for you guys this year, so since I have the press pass, I'll be able to probably get some interviews in, and obviously I have the Theeliteace here. Do you have anything to say?
Actually, you already know what it is.
All right, guys. Well, I'll see you in a moment. All right, I am now inside the building. As you can see, we have a lot of people here for a line, but it's actually nothing compared to what it was.
Set free, rising, rising, mesmerizing, unbridled ecstasy.
Hey, what's up, guys? Right now, I'm getting ready to go ahead and head to the Maid Cafe for Youmacon. I'm going to show you guys probably a lot more panel footage this year, a little bit less interviews, so you guys can basically capture a different view of Youmacon. So come on and follow me.
Let's try, look high and low, search the sky and the sea below. Let's try, seize the day, and make new friends along the way.
You said you had questions, or?
Yes, I did.
Alright, cool. And
This is a view of Detroit's Maid Cafe.
Nico with Chinatown Comics here. We have
Tiny Tina!
one of the workers at the Maid Cafe.
I love puppy butts. Tiny Tina. Try not to get in the way.
So, what's it like working here at the Maid Cafe?
It's a lot of fun. You get a chance to mix and mingle with our special guests we have every year, like John St. John, Top Havercorn, Steam Powered Giraffe. We get a lot of musical guests in here, Random Gibberish. It's a lot of great time. You get to get all these lovely personalities that get to come and wait on you. This year we had the Doctor and the TARDIS. We had two characters from Fairy Tale Gentlemen, and we even had a couple little demons that might play with their soul.
Very nice. How long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this 5 years since we've been at this location here in Detroit.
So, say he was an hardcore fan of
Anime, fan in general. I'm normally just tech staff, so I'm running main when I'm not here. So,
Alright, so you're part of the tech staff. I mean, what's it like being in Youmacon in general for you?
every year I walk in the doors and I tell everyone I'm home because there's no other way to explain it. Once a year you get to be around people that are exactly like you.
So, what would you recommend to anyone who probably had no idea what the Maid Cafe was or who were into anime manga?
I would say that if you say you don't like anime, you're lying. Because there's a genre out there for everybody. You just have to find the one you like.
I agree. I have to agree with that. Like, straight up.
You can find any genre, just like you can find any book.
Alright, thank you for those words of advice.
Not a problem.
Very nice.
Stick around later, we'll have some Bunker the Badass games later.
The Maid Cafe definitely turned out great as expected. There were suites in there. It was really comfortable. Made you feel really good in there. A lot of the maids in there were really nice. The entire time I was in there, and being able to chill with Theeliteace and Nico in there is also pretty nice. Being able to hang out with your friends as well as just have an overall good time. So I'm gonna go ahead and head on to the next panel. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Okay, guys, I'm right now in the Grand Ballroom seeing people dance and practice their ballroom dancing. And this is a pretty interesting panel. Go ahead and check it out. People are supposed to be preparing for night for the Grand Ballroom Dance. I'm gonna go ahead and check it out then too, so hopefully you'll catch it then. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Okay, I'm here with some buddies right now from my school. We're getting ready to go up to the game room right now. This is their first Youmacon experience. One of them in particular did not want to come, but now that he's here, he realizes what wonderful things that Youmacon can bring. So tell me, guys, your honest thoughts while we walk up there. What
Amazing!
Awesome.
That's pretty cool, man. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
Okay, so what do you like so far? What do you like the most about Youmacon?
The cosplays are amazing.
The atmosphere. And this is just the first day. This is just the first day of Youmacon. See, in the D, people think it's always got to be something bad for Youmacon, or somebody gonna get messed up. But you obviously can see there's more to it than that. It's basically an overall experience, a time where the anime can unite in Michigan, and not only that, but people from all over come to Youmacon. So let's go ahead and check out a little bit of this game room. Okay, I still have yet to go to the game room. I got ready to go in there, but I didn't have my pass at the time. Now I do, but before I do that, since I wasn't able to make it to the ball, the dancing ball, Nico was. So I want to ask him a few questions on what he thought about the whole ball. Now, tell us, what was it like? What would you describe the experience to be in one word, actually, if you could?
Well, all I had to say was it was far more packed than what I initially expected. You know, I went to the dancing lessons and there was very few people there, but I went in there, paid my $10 to go into the charity ball, and it was packed. And people were literally just having a great time dancing and whatnot. I mean, even people who didn't know how to dance were basically getting it in out there. And the type of music that was playing, it wasn't just classical. You had jazz up in there. You had Halloween theme songs going on, and Michael Jackson. I'm like, man, this got real. People all dressed classy and everything too. I'm like, man, this is my kind of party.
So, how were the ladies looking?
The ladies were looking like ladies. I mean, it was one of those places where, you know, it wasn't like a club-like environment, like mini skirts and all that and whatnot. They looked classy and they looked like true ladies, and I was very proud to ask every single one of them.
Okay, now, could you actually keep up with the dancer? Could you lead them right, or what was the deal with that?
Well, for the most part, a lot of the ladies that danced didn't know how to dance themselves. So instead of trying to lead them, I basically just said, I'm messing with you. We're going to have a good time. And they actually enjoyed it. And we were laughing about it, and you know, we even came up with our own dancing styles. It was fun. I mean, I did have a couple though that I did do some structured dances with, you know, the box steps and whatnot, but it was very fun.
Now, what would cater to, like, does it cater to any of the needs of an otaku? Was there anything there that stood out to you from different, like a normal ball? Like a normal ball that you would go to where you were dancing?
Yes, and that's the fact that you had some people who were dressing classy as cosplays.
Cosplays?
Yes, yeah, I mean, you had different color hair people were going in as one of the 7 princesses of Disney and whatnot.
And was there anything that stood out to you?
Okay, there were actually quite a few things that stood out to me. First, I'm gonna give a shout out to my man who had the lightsabers up in there. Dude was getting it in with the lightsabers, and you know his partner that was with them. You know they had a duel and everything there too. You had some a few people wearing skeleton outfits, getting out there in the dance floor. But I mean, the main things that stood out to me were some of the ones that were wearing bridal dresses and whatnot out there, and just literally looked like princesses.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling us what the ball was like, since sadly I couldn't actually experience it. I had basically forgot my badge. But Theeliteace, yes, he didn't think he was going to get the spotlight out of nowhere. How was it in the game room?
I ain't going there yet. I was just,
You didn't?
my friend, no.
Well, you know,
Talking, I was getting pictures and whatnot.
is it still open?
Oh, yeah, it's still open.
You know what? Let's go get a catch a view of the game room right now, guys. Okay, I'm here. I am in the game room. And there's a lot of different games and a lot of different things people are playing right now. So go ahead and check it out. Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Game on Cloud 9 here, and right now I am sitting here with Fred Gallagher, the creator of Mega Tokyo, a famous webcomic on online. And today I just have to ask you, how did you get Mega Tokyo to me at the status it is today? How did you get your webcomic out here?
I honestly have no idea. I originally started the comic. My friend Rodney Castle, he and I started as partners. He sort of just pestered me to dude, we gotta do a webcomic together. He just kept pestering me and pestering me. And finally, I just made some comics and put them up. And the problem is that people like the comics and they kept coming and they wanted more, so we sort of got stuck doing it. And I've been trying to catch up ever since. And that was like 14 years ago.
I see. So, what are your main inspirations for Mega Tokyo?
A lot of things. I mean, you take a certain amount of inspiration from the manga, the anime, and just the things that I've enjoyed over the years. A lot of very a wide variety of voices, but also I take inspiration from various movies, TV shows, even things that you would never guess would influence you, like some old obscure mystery series, for instance, William Gibson novels. Some of them have influenced things here and there. So a lot of times the inspiration can come from very odd places, but that kind of adds to the flavor of it in a lot of ways. Because what I do is I don't know if I call it manga. It's a good catch-all term, but I'm just a comic artist who my influence is manga and Japanese comics. So that's what's reflected in my work mostly. But I've also got a lot of them here. I don't try to be a Japanese comic. I just try to do my own thing, which comes a lot of inspiration from a lot of places.
I see. So, if I'm not mistaken, you've gotten this published in Japan before, right? So, how does that actually feel to know that your work is even respected overseas?
I'm embarrassed as hell to have my comic published over there, because when you look at the things, especially since the book that was published was the first one, so it's my earliest work, and you're up there and you're published in a country where these people have like the best stuff that you're inspired by. So it's a it's humbling. It really is. I was very humbled by the opportunity to do that. So I was very proud of that.
What are your like favorite like manga or anime like in particular?
Well, I took a lot of influence early on. I've been a manga and anime fan kind of for a long time. I got into it back in the 90s. I was, there are certain elements of things that I do that, like for instance, Yuzo Takada, who did 3x3 Eyes and Blue Seed, if you're familiar with that, older stuff, but he was a big influence on me.
Yeah, I wish I was familiar with this.
Fujishima, who did Oh My Goddess, was another one that influenced me a lot. Kimigoro Intro. And these are a lot of early ones that influenced me, but over the years, there's a lot of stuff. I pulled a lot of inspiration from the key games, everything from Canon to Clannad to Eagle Beats, Maida-jin, who's a writer, whose work has influenced me a lot. It's in fact, when I did the Japanese version, the translator, I was telling her a lot of the inspirations and little bits and pieces, little comics like Cocoa at Greenwood. There's like some influence here, and I was explaining all this stuff. And when we were done going over stuff, she's like, "I'm gonna have to go to the video store. Like, I haven't watched some of these things in years. Like, where do you get all this stuff from?" So it's just the little bits and pieces that makes it fun. So,
have you ever like wanted to get like Tokyo animated or anything?
Oh, I would love to, but in Japan, there's very much a setup for you have published manga, and it's part of a structure where things can get green-lighted and moved up into a position where they can turn into an animated series or not. As an independent comic artist, I'm just happy to be published. In a lot of ways. I've often, sometimes you fantasize too. Whenever you would have somebody, I'm not an animator and I'm not a producer. I wouldn't know how to make it. So you would have other people who would actually do it, whether they buy the rights or they become part of it. There's a certain amount of I'd have to step back and let people just go with it. And I've sometimes joked that it'd be fun if like Gynax just they did Evangelion and whatnot. If you just take my work and just show me what you do when you're done. I mean, it'd be insane. It would be nothing I would come up with, but they would add to it. So it would be fun. But I don't know. It's at this point I don't see it ever happening, but because there is no structure here. But it's everybody fantasizes about working in an animator or a movie.
I see.
Of course.
Another question.
Sure.
As far as when you draw, this would be more for the the drawing part of the question.
Sure.
Like, what's the hardest part for you when you're trying to make the characters and not be tired?
Well, the way that I make comics, I do it all. I don't have a separate writer. I write the story, I write the dialogue, I draw the comics, I do everything. And a lot of times the hardest thing is the things that I like to draw, and when I write, it really comes out in the drawings. So when I sit down, I try to write dialogue and write a script and try to figure things out. I only can get I get a framework, and a lot of times the framework doesn't really have a big feel to it. And it's not until I actually draw the characters and I start drawing everything that the characters start to talk. They start to say what they're going to say. So a lot of times I don't even have a script. Yeah. A lot of times the drawings really say a lot. So I'll do sketches and drawings like this drawing here that I did. These are 4 members of the same family, and the way that I drew them, there's a lot of personality that sort of comes out in each character that I was thinking. And from this, I've actually pulled a lot of story ideas, just even from a drawing like this. So I'll do drawings and sketches, and from those drawings, you'll get ideas and characters, and they'll talk to you from there.
Does it usually take you a while to draw something out like this, or is it maybe what's the length usually that it takes?
Well, I can do a quick sketch. You can spend anywhere from 5-10 minutes to a half hour to a really full drawing can take a couple hours to draw. Coloring is something I do separate. Coloring is something I'm learning to do, and I've been doing more and more. But it usually takes me probably a full day to draw a comic, and then usually over the course of 2 days. So 8 or 9 hours worth of time to draw a normal Megatokyo comic. And it's really the drawing is not the hard part. It's coming up with the basic framework of what I want to happen in that comic. And then once I start drawing, it goes fairly well. And I actually do. If anybody wants to see the process, I actually have a channel on Twitch where I do my comic live. I do all the comics live. You can actually which it's kind of nice to show people, hey, there's no secret to it. This is how I do it. Everybody does it differently. It's if you learn something from it, it's great.
Do you have any closing words to maybe add to anybody who's aspiring to be an artist or a comic writer or anything?
Oh yeah, I think a lot of people look at people who make comics or writers or work who make movies or whatever, and they think that there's something really special about the people who do this, and there's some special club. In the end, I started doing this as a webcomic. I just started producing them over time. People found it, and enough people started following it that I was publishing. I'm just a guy. I got too busy doing this to do a day job, so this became my full-time job, and that's cool. It doesn't it's hard to get there, but I guess the point is that there is no secret society for it. All the people who make this stuff, they're just regular people who they just work very hard. And for me, when it comes to doing comics, if you want to make comics, the best thing to do is to just actually start working on it, start making it. If you make a webcomic, don't worry about how it looks at the start. Just start making comics because you learn by doing it. And what happens is, you said, you do more comics, you start making some good ones, people will find them. And then you have a backlog that people can read. And that they like to see.
Thank you very much.
Sure, thank you. Appreciate it.
Guys, make sure you check out his Twitch account. I'm going to link it down below in the description. Anyway, let's move on to the next part of the video.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. What's up, YouTube? Right now, I'm sitting here in a panel where we have a lot of the notable voice actors right up at the front. I'm sitting next to Nico, and I'm sitting next to Chris, Theeliteace. You guys know who it is. All right. And as you can see, we have a lot of the voice actors up here. We have Johnny Young Bosch. Obviously, we all know who he is. We have Tony Oliver. We have who's the other one? Tom Whalen. So a lot of voice actors are up here. Some of you guys may be familiar with more of them, but probably the one that I'm most excited to see is Johnny Young Bosch. So anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in a moment.
Start this thing, I think, if you don't mind. As the former king, I hope you don't mind me butting in, but there is a chain of command here.
Sorry, did not know that. My bad.
Okay. Well,
I'm a foreigner.
that's right. Please forgive him. He does not know our ways. Well, I'm Tom Whalen, and I am the new king of Youmacon. Succeeding King John I.
Bag over here.
Yeah, which basically means that this year I am the most shameless, disgusting, depraved of the group, I guess. Yeah, thank you guys all for coming. And what is the name of this panel? I get paid to say this, I believe. I get paid to say this. We get paid to say things, and it is a treat and a blessing, and one of the greatest jobs that one can have. I think, from my point of view, and I think everybody would agree. Just a quick background on me. I work out of New York City. My main thing is Pokemon. And I have voiced more little Pokemon creatures than anyone else ever. Like 85 plus or something like that. And I've played a lot of other characters on the show. I've been in all the Yu-Gi-Ohs. I have a lead role in the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc 5 that comes out next year, and which is great. It's really funny. It's in Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe. Yeah. All right, Ninja Turtles. And and I've been in a ton of other projects that aren't anime. I do a lot of voice acting, done audiobooks, ESL, all sorts of stuff, and I'm really thrilled to be here. So thank you very much. Who's next?
Tia, why don't you go, and then we'll go down the line.
Yeah, Tia, go. Just get out.
Huh? We love you! I love you too! Hi everybody, my name is Tia Ballard. I have been in this industry. I talk for a living. I've been in this industry for 5 years on Valentine's Day of this year. I'm a baby, kind of, compared to all these guys who've been in it for way longer. You're old. I am out of Dallas, so I primarily work with Funimation Entertainment, Okatron 5000, thank you, Sentai, ADV, aka, and I'm a little bit of everywhere, so nice to see ya!
I'm the former king of Youmacon, and most of the companies I work for are ad agencies, so you don't know their names, I won't mention them. But for video games, I've been voice acting since 1975.
You were the voice of Pong, right?
Actually, I say voice acting since 1975, but that's when I started my radio career as a baby DJ. I was 14 years old and got a radio job. And that's what started my career. So here we are 120, 130 some odd video games later, after I got out of radio. And so, of course, Duke Nukem and World of Warcraft and Counter-Strike and Guild Wars 2 and Half-Life and Sonic Adventures, and there's so many of them that you already know them all by now, right? Okay, my 4th year at Youmacon. Freaking love this con! If you're a friend of mine on Facebook, and if you aren't a friend of mine on Facebook yet, for God's sake, friend me, because I like everybody to be friends. I put a lot of updates about cons that I'm doing, and I recently re-ranked my favorites. I used to love MagFest. I'm still technically the king of MagFest, by the way. I had 2 kingly roles. Oh, and of course, Duke Nukem, Hail the King Baby. So three kingly roles. But I moved Youmacon up to the very top of the list as my favorite cons because that they keep having me back here and that you people are so freaking cool to me even though I'm such a jerk. It's just awesome and I can feel the love. So thanks for having me back and this ought to be an interesting panel. And now ladies and gentlemen, down the line we go.
Hi, I'm Tony Oliver, how you doing? I'm based in LA. I've been doing anime since they used to have little dinosaur chipping pictures on the stone, so it's been that long. So I started with a little show called Robotech, which kind of and recently, and I was a head writer and co-producer and development producer of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. And recently I'm doing a lot of different anime. I directed Gurren Lagann and Eureka 7. Thank you. I'm doing voices on Naruto and Bleach, and I've got Doraemon on Disney XD right now, so that's cool. Oh, thank you. Someone's actually seen it. And a lot of video games, and just really thrilled to be here, and nice to meet you all. Thanks.
I was Adam in Power Rangers. I was Vash in Trigun, Ichigo in Bleach, Lelouch in Code Geass, Isaiah in and a few other things, Bumblebee in Transformers War for Cybertron, Nero in Devil May Cry 4. Excited to be here. Thank you guys.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyson Reinhardt. That's hilarious. Yeah. Yes, thank you. I just got thrown off my game by somebody laughing at my name. Yeah. Oh, well, that's even better. You're throwing me continually off my game. Thank you. Thank you for the love. I was Daru in Steins Gate. You might have seen that.
Okay, this is going to be my closing thoughts to Youmacon 2014, guys. I'm doing this 2 weeks after Youmacon, so please bear with me on this. I know you're probably wondering why I'm doing that so late, but mainly because my editing software really wasn't acting right, and I was planning on doing it as soon as the convention was over. So finally I've got it to act correctly, which is why you're getting this tidbit right now. But yeah, I have to say, I've been to, well, this is my third Youmacon. So my first Youmacon was 2012. And usually Youmacon always steps it up each and every single year that I've been. And from what I've heard, that's how it's always been. I enjoyed this Youmacon this year. However, I feel as though it wasn't as great as last year. And that's partially due to the scheduling issues that I know the guide had. Like, the schedule would be off a little bit. The schedule wasn't actually even in the book like it had been previous years. So I'm not exactly sure what went on with that. Youmacon is still awesome, guys. I mean, there's so much to do at Youmacon. I mean, I told you there's a lot of different panels. I even tried to get a panel this past year. Didn't work out exactly as the way I planned it, but there's a lot to do there. But I feel as though, I don't know, I hope that next year there's not going to be this issue, because I know some of my friends, I think either Theeliteace, I think there was a couple panels he tried to go to where, the time would be off, or I think it had to do with autograph signings, actually, where, a person was supposed to be at an autograph signing and then actually they were at a panel somewhere. So I don't know, I feel like there's a lot of mix-ups, so hopefully they'll be a little bit more organized next year. But other than that, I probably have to say my favorite moment for me at the convention was probably being able to meet Johnny Young Bosch. I mean, the voice actor for Ichigo, I mean, that's going back. I mean, I've been following Bleach since I was in middle school, and of course, I would have to say that for a long while, maybe not, probably at least to my sophomore year of high school, I was just following, the English dub of Bleach. So of course, being able to finally have the chance to meet the guy who plays the main character, is obviously pretty awesome. And not only that, but I even had a chance to be able to give Johnny Young Bosch a poster of my manga, and I just wanted to kind of do that. I mean, there was no real big reason as to why, but I also got a chance to meet the voice actor for Ukiura, the English dub one. So I know some of you guys probably, know who that is. His name is Tony Oliver. I got something signed right here, as you can see. It's actually on the back of a flyer for my Gods of Life manga, because I did a ton of promoting for Gods of Life while I was at Youmacon. I couldn't do it exactly the way I envisioned to do it, but I still had a nice time doing it. Handed out a lot of different flyers and trying to get everything going. Aside from that, they had ballroom dancing. Now, I wanted to actually do the ballroom dancing. I had my yukata ready. The only thing I was missing was the belt to it, which is obviously going to throw off everything because I'm just going to have like an open yukata. And then even then, I didn't actually know how to ballroom dance. And yes, Youmacon goes that deep where they even have ballroom dancing in there. I'm telling you, they have all sort of different panels. Ballroom dancing. They, of course, have the rave, which you saw footage of in this video. We also have, they've had drawing, like as far as people having panels where they're showing you how to draw. They have panels where voice actors are just hanging out with you. There's so much. I think they even have karaoke. They had a Facebook group meetup, which I didn't have the chance to go to, actually. So just a whole flurry of things that I really think that anyone out there who is looking for maybe another convention to go to should check out for Youmacon. So although Youmacon did have some scheduling issues this year, Youmacon is definitely a convention that I recommend. I mean, it's my first one. I've been to one other one, which is held by the same people who hold Youmacon, called Midwest Media Expo. I plan on going to other conventions soon that aren't like Youmacon related, I guess. I'm not exactly sure which one that should be. You guys can make some recommendations down in the comment section below if you want to. Oh, I also had a chance to meet up with Luffy the Super Saiyan. I know he's not in the video, and I also met up with G4 Leader. He's not in the video either, but that was really nice. I usually meet up with them, or I met up with them last year too, but we didn't really hang out for too long, if I remember correctly, last year, but we hung out a little bit longer this time around. G4 Leader, though, we always catch him at like the tail end, it seems like, at the convention, because I know he had to go by the time we actually met up with him. He was there most of the time as Deathstroke. I'm not sure what cosplay I want to try to do next year, because I didn't cosplay, obviously. The most I basically did was have the little Naruto headband, trying to go out, basically, since Naruto at that point hadn't ended yet, but it was about to end. So I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna wear this with some pride at last Youmacon. Another thing I guess I would have to say, make sure you bring some money if you go to Youmacon. Now that's a downside, because Youmacon, okay, the dealer's room is awesome. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff in there. I mean, you have, a lot of different independent people in there that are selling their own works. And then you have people drawing different kinds of fan arts. Like I've seen like one Hunter Phantom 2 drawing that just looked amazing. Same thing for there was a Attack on Titan drawing that I really wanted to get. I mean, a lot of people that go in there usually take at least a couple $100. Now, me on the other hand, I didn't have the money to blow like that, so I didn't end up getting anything at this Youmacon. Maybe next Youmacon. I know last one I got a Dead Man Wonderland scroll, but they even sell swords in there. I can't remember the name of the manga that this one guy was selling, but I remember reading it a little bit, and actually my friend Nico, he ended up reading basically the whole thing, actually, and it was really good. I mean, if you actually checked it out, it was a legit manga. I mean, this guy, he was from the US, I'm assuming born, raised, and all that, just like us, but he made a real deal manga, one that's really respectable, and I'm not talking about Fred Gallagher, who I interviewed, which, by the way, I have to say thank you for the interview that you gave me. But yeah, it was up there. It was, definitely something that I feel like should be sold in Japan as well. But to continue off of basically that point, there's a lot of different things you can check out in the dealer's room. I've never been to any other obviously conventions to know what the difference is between Youmacon's dealer's room and, like, let's say, I don't know, HyoCon or something like that, or Comic-Con, or I'm assuming Comic-Con's dealer's room would be freaking insane, but, you know, you get what I'm trying to go with. But, you know, I don't think Youmacon's dealer's room would be a disappointment, because I've never heard anybody not like Youmacon's dealer's room or think it was lackluster or something. That's usually the one thing that people usually will hold on to. The food court down in the Renaissance Center is freaking expensive. Like, no. You even if you don't want to spend any money, you're gonna have to if you want to survive those days. I mean, on average, I was spending like $8, you know, for a meal. Now, you may not. For some of y'all out there, it may not be expensive. To me, I can pay it, but it's still an expensive meal. It's like, I mean, McDonald's even costing a bit, you know. And it's like, what? Like, McDonald's had no deals. I remember exactly when, you know, the Theeliteace, like he told me, he asked about that, or he asked McDonald's if they have like any deals down in the Renaissance Center. They had no deals, you know, which, I mean, I guess you could say makes somewhat of sense, I guess, because it's, you know, in the GM building. But at the same time, it's like, goodness gracious, y'all need to lower these prices for these conventions, man. I feel like I'm literally about to spend like $100 every day, not because I'm getting anything, but because I'm literally just trying to eat. And I'm like, it's not even funny. Like, oh man, I remember it was pizza that was like $5 for like or not $5. I think it was like $4 for a slice or something. It was something dumb like that, where I'm just like, okay, I can go get me a hot and ready for that price. Yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything that I really wanted to talk about. I didn't really talk to a ton of voice actors, but like the ones that I mentioned are really the ones that I was interested in actually meeting. I mean, I did go to a panel where they had the voice actor, I can't remember his name, for Space Dandy. He played Dandy. And a lot of you guys obviously you know who I'm talking about. I don't remember his name, but I know I went to his panel. That was nice. Tom Whalen was there, and he did the voices for a lot of different Pokemon. I remember when he did the voice of Charmander real quick, I'm like thinking, dude, I have to be able to freaking try to meet this guy. Didn't have the opportunity to, mainly because I was set on trying to meet Johnny Young Bosch, and I think they were at the same exact panel. And that's when I told you guys, I ended up giving him a poster of mine, which, you know, he actually seemed pretty surprised by. So yeah, that was really nice. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on this Youmacon. I have to say one thing though. It wasn't the same without Ryuitachi. You know, Ryuitachi's, you know, one of my closest friends, and, you know, for him not to be able to go there, and the fact that, you know, he's over in Japan right now, and he went to the first Youmacon that I went to with me, you know, and that was his first Youmacon too. You know, it was like one of the people that was a part of our crew wasn't there. So, you know, it kind of felt like an empty spot. You know, so hopefully he can make it next year. You know, it'll be a lot more exciting. But anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you have any questions about anything else, let me know. I also would say check out my manga, guys. I'm really working hard on it, and I think a lot of you guys would really enjoy it. The fan pages are going to be down below for Shining Otaku, which is where the manga is located. And if you go to the website, there is a subscribe button if you want to get updates. So anyway, thank you guys for watching this video, and please give it a like if you liked it, and I'll see you later.